Donald Trump wants to put his war with Iran in the rearview mirror, and he hopes that come the midterm elections, all will be forgiven by voters. Everything will be great, as he said in an event with farmers in the swing state of Wisconsin just a couple weeks ago.
The midterms are coming up, and I hope you people are really spiritized, because we're at a point we're going to come out of Iran very quickly. We're going to come out, and your fertilizer prices are going to go way down, just like they were 4 months ago. Your fertilizer's down, your energy's down, your oil, your gas is all coming way down.
Senator Tammy Baldwin is a Democrat of Wisconsin. She's a senator. She joins me now. Senator, the theory of the case, I think, from the president here, there's been a lot of pain across the country, obviously gas, fertilizer, particularly farmers, as a New York Times piece, that a full reopening of the strait will eventually cause fertilizer prices to fall, but they will remain above their pre-war levels for years to come, said an agricultural economist. The theory of the case from Trump is, we'll get out of this, all will be forgiven, everything goes back to normal. Do you think that's true?
Well, very clearly not. I traveled the state and visited many Wisconsin farms to hear about the impact of his illegal war in Iran on our farmers. I visited soybean farmers, corn farmers, dairy farmers, livestock farmers, and just during planting season, we saw the price of fertilizer go through the roof. 70% of our farmers could not afford enough fertilizer for their crops this year. Diesel fuel hit a record high last month. And in Wisconsin, when people were preparing their fields, I met one soybean farmer who spent $80,000 more this year on diesel than he did last year. That's a 60% increase. We're talking about impacts that have already been felt. Prices going down tomorrow, next month, even into next year. Our farmer's going to remember that. And, and then he adds salt to the wound, as he did earlier today in his rambling press conference when he said he loves inflation and that affordability is a hoax, as he's heading off to dinner at the Palace of Versailles. Wisconsinites are shouldering the burden of this war of choice, and they are not going to forget the extra hundreds of dollars each family is spending just to fill up their gas tank.
The Department of Justice has set its sights on the state of Wisconsin, along with many other states, in what seems like a fairly transparent attempt to use the power of the department to mess with elections. This is some reporting from just the last few days. Wisconsin Public Radio. The Trump administration is appealing failed attempt to get unredacted voter registration data. Trump's administration is continuing its effort to force the Wisconsin Elections Commission to turn over unredacted Wisconsin voter data after being rebuked by a federal judge. The Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division is appealing the judge's decision, dismissing the case, suggesting many absentee ballots could be sent to fraudulent registrants in November unless it audits the rolls. You also have FBI folks interviewing election workers in your state. What do you think is going on here?
Well, it seems that President Trump is just doing everything he can. He's still litigating the 2020 election outcome in Wisconsin. A lot of these FBI interviews of election officials and police officers and others have been about the 2020 election results, not the upcoming midterms. But between his threats, and these aren't veiled threats, these are outright threats to send armed ICE agents or others to particular cities in the midterms to prevent fraudulent voting, as he puts it, or his insistence in Washington, D.C. that any bill that lands on his desk next must contain his voter suppression bill, the SAVE Act, or his directives to the U.S. Postal Service about whether they will deliver absentee ballots either to voters or back to election precincts without match with some national voter database. This is frightening stuff. We need to be very vigilant about it. But it's very clear that he knows that his situation with Iran and prices has been a total and utter failure. He's trying to lie his way through that. And then if that doesn't work, he's going to try to win the midterms with other means. And we're seeing it play out in real time.
Senator Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me.